She's wearing a bikini, probably by law they don't allow taking off the bikini. Otherwise she'll take off the bikini and stand there, okay? To sell a spanner. What for? Why do you need a naked woman for selling a spanner? The energy aspect of it feels very different. If just eating different foods is having such a big impact on your system, taking 2 dozen partners by the time you're 25, physically opening up your body to that dimension, it impacts you with so much of memory. This memory can put you in a place where it's a lot of hard work to work yourself out of this pit. If I see how you react to a mosquito bite, I know who your grandparents were, who your forefathers were, how you have lived, how you were born and how you will die. Really, I'm not joking.
Namaskaram, Sadhguru. What is the impact of early sexual exposure and involvement on adolescence, and what can parents do about it?
See, other impacts on one's life. For example, they go to school or college for education. But once this orientation comes, at the age of 15, if you get emotionally tangled up or physically tangled up in some way, it rules your mind completely. You cannot handle it as one part of your life, it just becomes the whole of it. At a time when you need to build yourself, you're already spending yourself, you know. This is a time when you need to build up till you reach a certain age, so that you reach a certain perch in life and then life is of a different kind. Talking in purely materialistic terms, no spiritual process, I'm just saying, as a human being, as a person who has to gain some skills and capabilities and whatever to make even a reasonable amount of living, to make the passage of life easy, you get into all these things. There are very few people who can do those things and still be absolutely on with their education. Others will just flounder. What is the percentage of school-going children reaching university in United States? I don't think it's good.
Very low.
Very low. I don't know what's the number, but I'm sure it's low because you see the number of young people who see how they are, their percentages have grown big time. They're not just some… a few truants will always be there everywhere. They're the revolutionary aspect of teenage life, that is always there, there'll be one segment. But when that segment becomes large, it's definitely a concern. For a society, for a nation, it is a concern. If you don't address that concern, the nation will not thrive. So I don't know the exact numbers, but in many ways United States is reaching that place. Unless you get qualified people from outside the country, you won't have people qualified for anything in another 25 years. You'll have rap musicians and basketball players. You won't have anybody else. Already it's moving in that direction. You don't build a nation with basketball players and rap musicians and whatever, massage therapists and stuff, okay? I don't have anything against them. It is just that percentages of population involved in different areas of activity, if it becomes significantly lopsided, pleasure-oriented, that nation, that society will suffer for sure, which this country is unfortunately heading for. A few generations built a great nation, now it's going somewhere else. Whatever, hope it recovers, that's a different thing. About what it does to one's energy, I think we've spoken about this a few times. Between your body and your mind, if you want to look at them as two separate entities, which most people experience as two separate entities, though they are not, which do you think has more memory, your body or your mind? Your body has 1,000,000,000 times more memory than your mind. So your great-grandmother's nose is sitting right here on your face. Do you remember your great-grandmother mentally? No. Do you remember how your forefathers looked 1,000,000 years ago? All that is right here in the body remembers even today. The body has tremendous volumes of memory. So, certain aspects of the body, right now, there is something called as Sparsha Yoga. Sparsha Yoga means the yoga of touch. You understand? If I just touch this, now, actually you also remember, you not made it a yoga, you made it a different process. If you touch this furniture now, and if I make you blindfold you and touch this furniture after a year, you can recognize, I think it's the same furniture, isn't it? Yes or no? You cannot? Can you or can't you?
Yes.
You can. There's memory of touch. So there's a whole yogic system using the memory of touch. So all they do is go and touch a rock, go and touch a tree. Not loving the tree, please understand, that's an emotional business. Just touching the tree. We are doing something like that in the Bhavaspandanas and other things. We are using the touch in a very powerful manner. Just touching, just being conscious and remembering the feel of the touch and the energy of the touch, does boom, people blow and cry and roll and hopping around all over the hall. You see them, just because they touch. This is Sparsha Yoga. There's a whole dimension of yoga like this. So the body has a tremendous capability to remember, especially if it is become open in a certain way. In a way, to put it very simply, sexuality is a way of opening up your body for something else, for another possibility. So when it is open like this, what it remembers is phenomenally more than when you're just walking on the street. So this is the reason in India, where culture is mainly was oriented towards, not now, it's all… we are going as wacky as you are. But essentially the culture was oriented towards spiritual liberation, everything. In the previous generation, this was so constant, constantly told to us. This generation has forgotten. Especially anything that you do with open body, like eating, sexuality, these things you don't do everywhere. You limit it to the minimum possible level as to where your contact is, because the moment you open the body, it remembers in ways that you will not understand in your mind. It remembers every aspect of it. See, even today, even with me, when I eat at home, it's always only one item of food we eat. You understand? We don't eat 10 different items, because this has always been taught to us, when you eat what you like, you eat one thing. That one thing has 2, 3 combinations, but that's all one thing. You don't eat this. Today it's all buffet dinners. You go there are 25 things. 25 things, little you put and eat. I want you to just check this. We'll do 25 things, okay? You eat this, meditate that night, meditate next day morning, see how it feels. Tomorrow you just take some simple food, cooked food, don't change it from cooked to raw and all that, same cooked food, just eat one thing. Just see how it feels. There'll be a big difference in the way the system functions. There are digestive facts about it, not just that. The energy aspect of it feels very different. If just eating different foods is having such a big impact on your system, taking 2 dozen partners by the time you're 25, physically opening up your body to that dimension, it impacts you with so much of memory. This memory can put you in a place where it's a lot of hard work to work yourself out of this pit. That it will lead to certain states of distress, certain states of disturbance, both physical, mental, emotional. It depends from person to what extent it manifests, depending on various other factors of… there is a certain thing called the innate strength in a person, which comes from different dimensions. For the same level of provocation, different people will suffer differently, isn't it? Yes?
Yes.
If a mosquito bites, right now if 100 mosquitoes come and bite each one of you, Each one of you will suffer to a different level for the same mosquito bite, isn't it so? This depends on various aspects. If I see how you react to a mosquito bite, I know who your grandparents were, who your forefathers were, how you have lived, how you were born and how you will die. Really, I'm not joking. If we understand how you react to a mosquito bite compared to the person who is sitting next to you right now, because this depends on the karmic memory that you have as to how you react to it. This reaction may not just be your physical reaction, the body itself reacts on different levels. Same mosquito bite, does each individual's body react in different ways? So you just write it off, okay, I'm allergic to mosquito bite. This is just a very superficial way of looking at life. So every aspect of it, it may be different from person to person. Somebody says, oh, I've gone through all this, I'm living quite well. Possible. On one level, you may be living well, but everybody will not be able to take it to the same extent. And above all, you might have been like that, but now you made yourself like this, you're little better than somebody else and you're happy. That's your problem. A coconut tree or a hardwood tree is supposed to grow that tall. You're little taller than this bush and you think you're great. What to do with you? So, full potential of your life will not be realized if you confuse the system with unnecessary levels of memory. This is the reason, especially when the children they're too open, this is the reason we fix the system like this. Till they're 12 years of age, no teaching actually, traditionally. Today you can't help it, it's compulsory, the government rules by 6 you must start education, otherwise they can come and arrest the parents. In India, now education is compulsory. If you don't send your child to school, by the time he's 5 years and 10 months, you can go to prison because you have not sent your child to school. Okay, but otherwise traditionally till 12 years of age, you never teach them anything because you don't want to meddle with their memory system. You just want to leave, just his body should grow, his brain should grow. Input will come later. If you want to grow, if you want to raise our children consciously, if you want to bring a certain thing, then we have to create a whole new world, which is not possible because the world has gone somewhere else. Particularly Western societies have gone completely anti-life. And everybody else is catching up pretty soon. Indian cities are not any better. The whole country has not caught up, but urban centers are more American than American, I'm telling you. They're even eating from McDonald's. So, because this has become the ideal in the world. This has become the ideal and everybody's trying to catch up fast and they'll get there. Unfortunately, they'll get there. But about individual people being concerned about their children, what you can do, there is only that much you can do because you are not the only person influencing your child. Your influence is probably 10%, 90% influence is coming from elsewhere. You cannot control that influence. You could limit it a bit. You could spend little more, if your presence and this thing becomes bigger, you could impact them probably little more. People think by spending more time you'll influence them, never. I'll tell you, if parents tend to you try to spend more time with your children, probably they will become your enemies. Yes, it is not about more time, it is just what kind of a person you make yourself into. If they like you, you may have influence on them. Otherwise, if you spend more time and they don't like you, the dislike will grow if you spend more time. Yes? Many relationships are sustained because one person is traveling. Am I saying bad things? So, more time is not the answer, it's just that you have to enhance who you are, that they're impressed by you. They're impressed by the way you are. Then you can have little more influence. Otherwise, they're impressed by their friends around in the street, they will take that influence. So, educational systems and it's not in one place. I was just looking for something. These are little small ads in the internet. I'm looking for a tool, okay? It's just a mechanical tool, something little more than a spanner, okay? But a bikini-clad woman stands like this next to the spanner. I don't know what she's got to do with my damn spanner. She's wearing a bikini, probably by law they don't allow taking off the bikini. Otherwise she'll take off the bikini and stand there, okay? To sell a spanner. What for? Why do you need a naked woman for selling a spanner? In what way does it improve the sales? I don't know. But that's a thing. And it is not just about exposing somebody physically, the whole idea of well-being, it's not today, see, don't think it suddenly happened now. The idea of well-being is, not today, I'm saying if you see the movies from 50s and 60s and whatever, what is the ultimate thing they achieve? A man and woman will hold hands and walk away and lived happily ever after. How they lived, you don't know. They walked away hand in hand in the last scene of the movie, and that is supposed to be the ideal of life. This needs to change, the fundamental thought. Yes, we make relationships, yes, we have all these needs, but this is not the goal of our life. If that aspect does not sink into society in a big way, that's far away, it's not anywhere near achieving that, okay? But nothing wrong in striving for an ideal. It may take 1,000,000 years, but we can bring it into our lives at least. So, this needs to happen in a conscious manner on all things, from selling a spanner to how you conduct yourself in your home and how you are as a person. You yourself are like an explosion of hormones, and then you tell your teenage son and daughter, be like this, it's not going to work. Because the influence of the culture on an individual human being is too big. Very few people can keep themselves free of that. Very few people. All others are molded by the culture into which they are born. Very few people will set a new culture. All others are a victim of what is around them, isn't it? So it's not a one day's affair or one generation's affair to change it. But nothing wrong in striving for it. We can only strive for it, we can't hope for any big results right now. But in many ways, see, this is everywhere, this is not in one country. Here it just happens with a certain level of directness and crudeness, but it happens everywhere. Because there are natural tendencies of the body which cannot be curbed and which should not be curbed. It just needs to be refined, that's all. We are not talking about curbing the natural tendencies of the body and human requirements, but it needs to be refined, it need not find crude expression in every place that you go, isn't it? So that crude expression, if it's taken off, sexuality will become a part of your life. Right now, your life is a part of sexuality. If it's a small part of your life, there is no problem. But if it's the whole of your life, sickness it is. Whether money or sexuality or whatever, anything which is a part, if it becomes a whole, that is called sickness, isn't it?